From WBBZ-TV Sports, it's time to beat the champ. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Peck and Sue Novoitsky.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to our year-end edition of Beat the Champ. And Sue, we have a very special way to wrap up 2017. We're in our final week of our one-month stay here at Mancuso's Bowling Center in Batavia, and we're going to shine the spotlight on some of the great young bowlers from the Genesee region.
Well, it's always fun to give the youth a chance to bowl because they're future Beat the Champers, right?
That's absolutely right. We've got boys and we've got girls, all part of their Saturday morning league here. We're going to have a little fun with the girls versus boys team format here. Janelle, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a great time. It'll be something new for us to see because it's a little different than what we're used to in the typical show, but you guys will explain it and I'll be keeping score.
There you go. We will get you all that you need to know, so let's not wait any longer. We wrap up this year, our final edition of Beat the Champ, so let's get rolling. And we are ready to get it going here from Mancuso's Bowling Center. Team 1, Corinne Salluste and Sam Miller versus Team 2, Samantha Balby and Benjamin Spator. It's the boy-girl team versus the other boy-girl team. We've got handicaps worked in. This is all, I'm all very confused, and I think you are too. So we brought the expert in, that is Mike Spator from here at Mancuso's Bowling Center. Mike, tell us about the format of this challenge here today.
Yeah, last year on the show we did the adults, we did the mixed couples Baker format. So this year we decided to get our junior bowlers from our Turnbull Heating and Air program to do their mixed doubles there. So we drew names out of a hat, and then they all came in and qualified on Tuesday night in their scores for their order for 1 through 4. So it's worked out pretty good, and we used their handicaps from their averages from on Saturday mornings during the program.
First bowler we're watching is Samantha Balby, and she grabs that nice pin right there, and a good start for her team of Samantha and Ben. And then now it's our next female bowler up, and that's Corinne Salluste. I think you've got everybody wondering who's supposed to bowl where, what side, what lane, right?
Whoa, she's got a little ball speed, huh?
Yeah, she throws the ball hard, rolls it right out of her fingers. But yeah, we try to make it easy. So we keep the girls on one side on lane 20, and the boys will be on lane 19. That way, less confusing for the kids.
Gotcha.
Once they pick up the pace here.
Here's Benjamin Spator.
Now there's something going on here, like these two have the same last name, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of
never met him unless it's looking for a handout or something.
Yeah, kind of wondering about that, but that's okay.
That's my son, Benny.
Good for him.
Aww.
He's already picking up the family sport here, isn't he?
Yeah, little by little.
Yeah. How much do you have him around here?
Quite a bit during the summertime when he's off of school. He's here with me pretty much every day.
Right.
It's cheaper than daycare bringing him to work. So.
There you go. Just go take a couple lanes and keep yourself busy, right?
Would he rather bowl or play video games?
Well, his iPad still would come first. So.
Right. Here's Sam Miller, our first chance to get a look at him. We got some good bowlers here, Mike. Oh, we got some people that can knock some pins down.
They do very well. Sam joined our program about 2 years ago now. He came over from Leroy, and him and his sister both are pretty adamant about bowling. They bowl a couple times a week, and I know he's been taking lessons, and he's really been working on his game.
Yeah, we'll see his sister Emma in our third match of the day here coming up. So, all right, so now we're back over to lane number 20 with the ladies. And this is Samantha Balby. And that's a good start for her as well, too. So tell everybody a little bit about the youth programs that you have here at Mancuso's Bowling Center. And obviously all of these kids are coming off that Saturday morning league.
Yes, we do run a Saturday morning program. It starts at age 4 years old all the way up till 19. They bowl either a 2-game format or a 3-game format, depending on their age. And all these kids do bowl in the 3-game league that we have at the junior-senior division.
Good spare by Samantha. And obviously coaching and instruction all goes along with that as well, too, right?
Yes. Tom Fluker is our main head instructor. He's the president of our Genesee region, USBC, and all of his kids have bowled frequently, so he took it upon himself about 8 or 9 years ago to take over the program and does a great job.
Right. Is that 2 strikes there for Corinne and 2 frames?
Double for Mr.
Wow.
And
How about that? Good job.
Who drills their bowling balls out here?
Brian Green from the pro shop right here on site. Yeah.
And you're getting a look at Ben eyeing things up. Look a focus on the face there, Mike. Look at that. You're teaching him well.
If he doesn't do a good showing, he gets no dinner tonight. So
He's got basketball practice as soon as we get done.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's all right. You got to keep the kids busy, right? You got to. There you go. Look at that. Nice job. So now you pick these teams pretty much just randomly, right?
Just randomly. We threw them all together, threw them in a hat, and then they came down on a Tuesday, and we drew them out, and then they bowled together with their teammates for their qualifying spots.
Right, and we do have some handicaps that we're working on here as well, too.
Nice job.
Yeah, the handicap's not going to mean much with the way that Sam and Corinne are bowling, so.
Right. But Sam and Ben are getting 54 pins going into this match. So, and we want to remind you that coming up at the end of this episode of Beat the Champ, as we do on every week's show, we will have the Ortner Overhead Door Word of the Week. You'll want to make sure you're tuning in to get the Word of the Week. Gives you an opportunity to win an Ortner Garage Door Opener. Details on the contest available at WBBZ.TV. And Samantha gets ready to pull off the spare here as well, too. She's from Batavia, 13 years old, a student, as we certainly would expect.
Playing hooky today, bro.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You get a chance to bowl on TV. I think that's a pretty valid excuse.
No emotion, stone face.
She's probably a little nervous.
I would assume so.
She might have been watching Dana Vojtovich bowl the last 3 weeks here.
Tough to live up to that.
Here's Corinne Salluste, also from Batavia, 16 years old. She's been bowling for 11 of those 16 years. How about a nice 176 average as a 16-year-old?
She bowled for high school?
No, we don't have any high school out here. We've tried for several years to get it implemented, and we get fought every step of the way from the high schools.
Well, I'm surprised about that, and knowing that this is such a good area for bowling.
This feels like a good time to take a short break. We'll be right back with more action on Beat the Champ. Welcome back to Beat the Champ. Let's get back to the action here on WBBZ-TV.
Dana made one of those to win, and I was thinking to myself, I would rather have to strike out than have to make a 10-pin to win.
And here's 17-year-old Sam Miller from Leroy, New York. 175 average for Sam as well, too. And there you get a look at the Castellone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard. Remember, we've got that handicap worked in, so Samantha and Ben, their team getting the extra 54 pins in this one. And here's Sam again.
Her approach is surprising that she doesn't do the traditional.
She doesn't do the traditional. They've been working on with her the last about 6 weeks now, just trying to stay behind the ball, stay underneath it to get a little bit of lift and get the little skid flip reaction. So they've been doing just have her stand at the line. So she'll work back into like a 3-step approach next, but they've been putting a lot of work into it.
So it's kind of an interesting sort of breakdown of every part of the swing, and you'll, like you said, you'll get her moving back and approaching as she masters some of the other things. That's interesting.
That's one thing our junior program does, like critique and break stuff down, even during their competitions and stuff. So they do try to do a good job of working with the kids.
Here's Corinne. She missed the pocket a little bit there, but it didn't matter. She almost pulled off another strike.
Yeah, she's missing her target to the left now.
Well, remember, Dana Vojtovich pretty much pulled all the good vibes off of these lanes over the last 3 weeks.
Well, he definitely took
there's
a lot
not a whole lot of strikes left on these
lanes.
on these lanes, is there? What was your amazing stat over Dana's run there? 73 strikes
out of a possible 96.
96.
Yeah, I mean
that's unheard of. That's phenomenal.
I don't know that there's a whole lot of strikes left in 19 and 20 here. And of course, Dana will continue on in next week's show when we move up to Niagara Falls to the Rapids Bowling Center, where he'll try to keep his 8-match winning streak alive against a whole new selection of Western New York bowlers looking to knock him off. And, you know, and again, it's funny to think, Sue, that at least in the case of
Nice spare.
Sam Miller, he's only 4 years younger than Dana Vojtovich is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a wow, isn't it?
Wow.
Here's Sam on cue. You know, I mean, you know, you know, we could joke and say we're going to see some of these boys and girls on Beat the Champ, but
it won't be long.
It might not be that long.
No, a couple of years out.
And that'll be a pretty cool moment for us as this show continues to move on, as we get ready to start season 3. I want to be able to get us to the point where we can say, hey, the first time we saw this particular person was in one of our youth bowling challenges.
Yeah, that'll be neat. You know, it's very intriguing to see how that they adapt and stay with it. So.
Because I know you've said many times that you know, bowling on TV was one of the influences in your love of the sport.
Well, yeah, absolutely. How could you not, you know, want to do this again? And he seems to be pretty calm. And for lanes that are really bowled on, he's made a great adjustment, moved in, playing a part of the lane that most young people, frankly, haven't seen yet, you know?
Right.
So good for him. He's doing very well.
This is Samantha now in the 9th frame.
That was good. I mean, that's where you need to be. You need to be third arrow.
Yes.
And
Yeah, it's tough for the young ones. Sam's learned to loft the ball a little bit. He's been really working on that. So, like, when they do dry out, just to get through and, like you said, play a different part of the lane that's already been beat up a little bit.
It's a little bit of an adjustment, because I would assume a lot of times when they're bowling in the Saturday morning league, they're on fresh lanes and they're on fresh oil, and here they are on oil that's really gotten beat up pretty good.
Yeah, there's been a lot of games bowled in all the matches and practice, so they're pretty flying now.
How good a learning experience is that, particularly for the young bowlers?
well,
Or is it just a frustrating experience?
it's difficult because they're playing a part of the lane that they're on TV and they're just coming out to do it probably for one of the first times. I mean, it looks like Sam himself looks like he's played there before.
Yes.
Because he does not seem, but girls seldom get that deep.
Right.
And it's just, this isn't the place you really want to have to do that for the first time, but they're reacting well to it.
There's a nice strike for
awesome.
Ben. There you go. Good job there, Dad.
He's
You're teaching him
converted
well.
a few tough spares.
He's a pretty good spare shooter. I mean, we're trying to work with him. He rolls the ball like end over end a little bit still, so he's pretty accurate, but we're working with him little by little.
Good shot.
Hey, almost got another one. Almost got 2 in a row.
Does he bowl in the junior leagues?
He bowls in the junior program on Saturdays. He also does the travel league in the Genesee region, and then we bowl together in the adult child league on Sundays.
Oh, very nice.
We keep him busy.
How much fun is that? How much fun is that league? Bowling with your son like that.
I enjoy that more than when I bowled the night leagues and the men's leagues. So it's a lot of fun being able to bowl.
That's
with him.
awesome. That's great.
It's not very fun when he beats me every once in a while, though.
How many leagues do you bowl?
Just on every Sunday with him. That's all I bowl right now.
That must mean you're working too hard here.
Yeah, one of the last places you want to come back to when you don't have to.
Good point. Good point. All right, so final frame here for Sam Miller as his team, along with Corinne, is heading towards victory here in match number 1 of our Youth League Challenge here at Mancuso's Bowling Center in Batavia.
So what's different is that they're going to do a step ladder, which means the winners will move on to bowl the next match instead of taking a match off like we usually do. They're just going to move on and bowl the next team.
So we've got a victory, and we'll get one more throw here from Sam to clinch it, and then the team of Sam and Corinne will move on to take on Tara and Skylar. They are next up on the step ladder finals here. But before we do that, we'll watch Sam finish it out, and then we will talk
What a great
Sam
shot.
and Ben about their performance, and we'll do that when we return. It's Beat the Champs Youth Bowling Special from here in Batavia, New York. We are back right after this. Well, Corinne and Sam's team will move on to our next match, but that leaves Ben and Samantha. Here, you guys did a really nice job bowling on TV with everybody watching you and cheering for you. Samantha, how did it go?
I think I tried the best as I did, and I think I did well, so.
You should be proud of yourself. You did pretty well. You're a regular. You hang around here a lot, right? We heard that from your dad. How much do you really enjoy the sport? How much are you really learning to love this sport, Ben?
I like it because I can come here a lot more than most people because my dad works here.
That's a nice little bonus, isn't it? Right. But if you didn't like coming here and you didn't like bowling, it wouldn't be all that much fun, right? So what is it you like so much about the sport?
This is the sport that I'm the best at.
All right, well, there you go. You put on a nice show today. Both of you guys really did a nice job today. We've got more bowling coming up. Our Youth Bowling Challenge from here in Batavia will continue right after this. You're watching Beat the Champ. The team of Corinne and Sam on the left advances on to match number 2 to take on Tara Clattenburg and Skylar Lassar. It is our second match of our Youth League Challenge here at Mancuso's Bowling Center in Batavia. We continue the same format as the ladies will take care of things on lane number 20, and we start with Tara Clattenburg. And that's a good start for her, 17 years old, from right here in Batavia. And we continue to be joined by Mike Spator from Mancuso's Bowling Center here. And tell us a little bit about Tara, Mike.
Tara's been bowling here for about 7 years now, and she's come a long way. She's got a nice little follow through that she follows through very well. She's had some pretty good success. She also bowls, she's a sub in our travel league here for the Genesee region too.
Ah, that's great. So a good start for her, and now we turn it over to Corinne Salluste, who had a great first opening match.
Ball's deflecting, hitting the pocket.
Yeah, knocked everything down except the one right in the middle there, huh?
She's got some good ball speed for a young lady.
She throws 16 pounds, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, they tried to up her weight to think it would slow her down, and it's really not helped.
And good spares to start things off for both ladies. So now we get our first look at Skylar Lassar. 19 years old from right here in Batavia. Good cumulative average of 215. And now we know why.
It's always nice to get that first one.
Yeah, no kidding. Tell us about Skylar.
Skylar's bowled here since he's been about 7 years old. He used to bowl on Sunday mornings in Adult Child League when we had it going with his grandpa, and his grandpa was pretty adamant about keeping him in the sport and always challenged grandpa, and he's become a fine bowler himself now.
And a good start for Skylar as well, too.
So the way it worked out, their averages are even, so there is no handicap in this particular match.
And that's Tara getting 8 of those pins to go down. And again, all this is sort of random team, so we've got good, tight matchups. The fact that the handicaps matched up was strictly kind of a luck of the draw.
Yep.
You know, Mike, for those people maybe that are a little more focused on the history and the sport in the Buffalo area, tell us a little bit about what the history of bowling is here in Batavia, and particularly here at Mancuso's.
I mean, we've always had a pretty good following as far as bowling. I mean, years ago, we used to have 36 lanes, and then back in about 2005, they ended up selling off 12. But bowling's always been very supportive in this area. And there goes Corinne again.
Yeah, boy, she is really on a roll.
But we've had great league numbers and good support by our older, generations, and we're just trying to replenish it with the youth now, and it's becoming a little bit tougher.
Well, they've got so many choices of what they can do.
Yeah, so many different sports all compete for the same time.
Right.
And I think a little bit that's changed now is every sport demands and wants all of your time.
Oh, it's, just like Benny, my son. I mean, he's playing basketball. There's travel basketball he bowls. There's travel bowling. I mean, he's into baseball already. So it's, 3-4 different sports going on at one time.
Good spare pickup for Skylar Lassar, and then we'll get a look at Sam Miller here, who struck his last time out. Well, we know about the youth league here on Saturday mornings, Mike, and we know about the father-son and on Sundays. And then I know you've got a bunch of regular adult leagues that go through the course of the week. Tell us a little bit about what else is going on here at Mancuso's.
Yeah, we have men's and women's leagues pretty much every night throughout the week. The only night that we don't have leagues is Friday evenings. It used to be one of our biggest nights, but over the last 10 years, it's become a tough sell on Fridays. You know, all the workers for the weekend, you think they'd want to get out and do some bowling, but I think they'd rather go home and get a dinner and just relax, I guess. But we do a wide variety of senior leagues in the mornings and adult leagues throughout the week.
And it's not like you don't have a good option for them to come and get their dinner here before they go bowling on Fridays, right?
Yeah, we got a full-service restaurant, does great fish fries and great business, you know, and a little bit of the nightlife as well with the sports bar theme.
I noticed, because we've been here all day, that the bar was full this afternoon around lunchtime.
It's pretty steady. Usually you get a busy lunch rush. I think today was a little bit busier than normal, but they do a good job about getting the food out in a timely manner.
And you're right here in the heart of downtown Batavia as well, too, so within walking distance of a lot of
some
people.
Of the businesses.
And another good one for Corinne. We're getting some good bowling here in match number 2. And now we'll turn it over to the guys on lane number 19. We get Skylar here to start things off.
Wow, great shot.
And now Sam Miller will take over. And there you get a look at the Castellone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard.
Looks like there's quite a bit of hold area still in the middle where Sam's playing.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of pins knocked down here. We're moving along here pretty quick because these bowlers have been outstanding, both the guys and the girls here.
Well, it's always interesting how it plays out, because we had, in the final show, we had a lefty, and the left side, that was the only lefty we had all day.
There's only one in the whole field, yeah.
And Chris was the only one that really played where Dana was. Everybody else was right.
Right.
So the middles really kind of held up.
And don't forget, we'll move up to Niagara Falls for next week's show, as Dana Vojtovich will continue to try to keep his 8-match winning streak alive. And we also want to remind you that Beat the Champ is heading into its 3rd season, which means every month we move to another Western New York bowling center and give you, the bowlers of the area, an opportunity to qualify for the show. And the #1 qualifier in our round of 24 will win a television valued at $500 each month from our friends at Dirt Cheap TV, and a good crowd reaction to another strike from Corinne.
Yeah, she's got her fans over here getting pretty loud for it too.
Well, that's 6 in a row for them.
Yes.
We're going to be back with more Beat the Champ bowling action in just a minute. Welcome back to Beat the Champ.
Vojtovich-like
Very.
from the ladies there.
Messenger.
Oh, it just wouldn't go down. So again, can't encourage everybody to get out as we move into season 3 here at Beat the Champ, and keep track of the Facebook page. We'll have all the information about when qualifying and where, and your chance to get out there and bowl. And if you can bowl well enough against some of the best competition in the country, then you in fact will wind up right here on TV as we take our top 9 qualifiers from the roll-off, make the TV show every month. Season 3 already, huh? Where has the time flown?
Hard to believe, starting our 3rd year.
Yep, we've had some great support so far, so I'm excited for season 3.
And
in the community, it's been great.
It's been great, and as the show has evolved and moved forward, we've started to get some of those heroes and villains like any good competition. The guys you always want to see, the guys you hate to see, the guys who are trying to make their name at the, some of the ones that are the big winners, and that's been a lot of fun. And then we get guys like Dana Vojtovich that hadn't bowled on the show very much, and now all of a sudden is vaulted to near the top of the success rate.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, like I said, by moving it around, I do think you get a few different people involved here and there. But the better bowlers will travel, and they've been seeing quite a bit, and they deserve it.
And we always like coming here to Batavia because we always get a good group of your Batavia bowlers that always make the show because they understand, they know the lanes here. They're good bowlers to begin with, and I think we had 3 or 4 of them on last month's show, and I think that was about what we had a year ago too.
Yes, it was. Yeah. They just qualified a little different. Last year, I think they were more towards the top than the bottom, but they had themselves set up to try to win the show, and
Yeah.
they just couldn't do it. Dana was too tough.
Yes, he was.
Oh.
And there's Tara with a nice attempt. And now back to, was that the first time they didn't have a strike? The ladies didn't strike on that side, or?
No.
No. We had a good stretch there in a row.
Yeah, that was the
Corinne's team of
yeah.
right, Corinne and Sam's
Sam.
team.
We missed Fred this year. Fred put on a good show last year.
There was a few other tournaments going on when we did have our qualifiers, and I know that hurt a little bit with the entries, but it's always tough this season. It's a big tournament bowling season, and there's a lot to choose from
It
where
is,
they're
and
going to go.
that,
so
and
it's tough.
Sundays are Bills games, and
Yep.
that draws some people.
And a good spare pickup right there from Corinne.
I believe there's some Bills fans here in Batavia, right?
Oh, there's quite a few. I've had tickets for years, so we live and die with them.
And there's Skylar getting 9 pins knocked down here in the 10th frame. Winner of this match will advance to our championship match against Emma Miller and James Townsend. They are waiting in the wings to see who they're going to bowl against. Big trophy on the line here for our Mancuso Bowling Center Youth League Challenge. And a good spare pickup right there for Skylar.
Very
And
nice.
a great
Good one
way to
there, man.
end it. So now Sam Miller will finish things out.
Yeah, just try to stay loose for the next match at this point.
Because it looks like Sam and Corinne are going to advance on to our championship match.
Oh, so he's got to bowl his sister, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, gotta love those.
That's right.
Somebody's going to be walking home.
Bragging rights at
It's
home.
the Miller Family Championship coming up in our next match. Well, Mike, you know, we've got the one more match to come, but we just want to, from all of us here at Beat the Champ, thank you for being a great host. Thanks to everybody here at Mancuso's Bowling Center. And we love coming here, and you guys always treat us great. And it's always a lot of fun, too. And just want to make sure that we thank you for all your hospitality.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, one more here for Sam to finish this one off.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun watching some outstanding young bowlers here.
Yeah, it's a Dana score going up here for these two here.
It is a
Yeah.
Dana score.
Got that one out too wide. Oh.
And he got a couple of pins to slide over there, and the final score going up at 256. So the team of Corinne and Sam will advance on to our championship match. We will talk to Tara and Skylar about how things went for them when we return to Batavia right after this. .256 to 161, our final score. Tara and Skylar, you're on the wrong end of the score. But Tara, tell me how this went for you and how much fun did you have?
I like bowling a lot. It's super fun. Unfortunately, I couldn't pick up all the spares, so what are you gonna do?
And Corinne's bowling pretty well against you too, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she's phenomenal.
Yeah, and same thing for you, Sam, against you too, Skylar. Tell me how this went for you.
Yeah, that was fun. We've known each other for a while. We were talking back there a little bit, but it was overall a great time.
Well, good. We're glad you guys had a chance to get a little TV time here and show everybody what good bowling we got going on in the Batavia area. And I know we're going to get a chance to see you guys again. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good new year.
You too.
All right, Tara and Skylar, we got our championship match coming up. More to come on Beat the Champ from here at Mancuso's Bowling Center in Batavia. Championship match of our Batavia Youth League Challenge. Corinne Salluste, Sam Miller on the left, Emma Miller, James Townsend on the right, and then we will crown a champion here. We've had great bowling, Sue, by these young bowlers. Some really impressive stuff so far.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see, the youth have an interest in bowling and know that, there's some talent coming forward.
And as pointed out earlier, and now we get our first look at Emma Miller, who is the brother or sister of her brother Sam Miller. So we got a little family battle going on here between the Millers, and a good start there for Emma. Mike, what's the scouting report on Emma Miller?
She's pretty consistent. I mean, she's been averaging like 175, I believe, this year on Saturday mornings. And then she also bowls in the travel league, so it's probably a little bit higher in the travel league, traveling house to house. So she's going to give her brother a run here.
15 years old is Emma, and you're exactly right, 175 average. And a nice spare. Pick things up. Bowling in the Saturday morning leagues here and the Sunday afternoon travel league. And now we flip it over to Corinne Salluste, who has been very impressive through the first two matches. As you mentioned before, Mike, you're actually trying to slow her down a little.
Yeah, we tried to give her a little more weight just to slow her down, but she's pretty strong, and she fires that thing down there. She's not letting the ball do much of the work. It's a lot of power.
Is that a pretty common thing with some of the young bowlers like that? Is that
well,
not unusual?
When I first started out, I threw it really, really hard too, and Liz Johnson has a lot of ball speed too, and rotation will slow her down, or dropping her eyes will slow the ball down. And she might be somebody that needs to set her eyes a little shorter on the lane. That will naturally get the ball rolling a little bit sooner, and she won't be able to fire it as hard. And that would be the next thing that I would think of to get a little bit more rotation.
This is 19-year-old James Townsend, our first look.
On this, where the lanes are so dry, it's actually helping her. So you don't
creating
really
a
want her to
little
lose it
friction.
entirely.
Yep.
James is from right here in Batavia, 180 average. Also bowls in the Saturday morning and Sunday travel leagues here, and a good spare pickup for James Townsend. And now the other half of the Miller family battle, we go back to Sam Miller.
I think he's feeling the pressure of his sister.
I
She
don't
came out
know.
here and marked right off the get-go.
Yeah, and we've seen him throw much, much better balls than that one. So
Yeah, I think he's thinking about her already.
Mike, you mentioned it a little earlier in that this used to be a larger bowling center, but what's a little bit of the story of the history here of Mancuso's Bowling Center?
Yeah, I mean, it was always been in the family between Rick's grandfather and then his father, and then handed down between the kids. I mean, Rick has a brother and a sister as well, so I think they all stay, pretty tight-knit with everything, and it's a nice family operation that's been sustained over the years.
Mm-hmm. So it's always obviously been in the Mancuso family.
Yes, it has.
Always been obviously located, always been here then
Right
as
here
well,
in this
too?
location, correct.
So what did they do with that space that was bowling?
Right now they leased it out. He also has a real estate business as well, property managing, and they're into quite a lot of stuff. So I mean, right now they lease it out to tenants. One's a dance studio over there where the 12 lanes was, and there's a few other businesses over on that side.
Emma coming close there to picking up the spare. And again, you guys are right in the heart here, right on Main Street, right in the heart of Batavia.
Yeah, a lot of people drive right by us because they don't realize we're here.
It's a little bit of a challenge sometimes to find the right way to get in, but it is worth finding.
The restaurant has actually faces the street,
it has
right?
a marquee on the street. Then there's a little one-way alley that you can turn right down from Main Street. So, but the bowling center's a little more hidden.
That's how I found it. I found it by the
At TF Brown's,
yeah.
and I know there's a lot of good stuff going on here in the city of Batavia. A lot of new companies moving in, a lot of businesses that are starting to realize what opportunities there are in the Genesee region as well too, and it all kind of a little bit of an offshoot for you as well too.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I need a little bit of boom is going to help, as far as bowling and everything else goes. So the more businesses that are open up locally, it's going to definitely help out everything.
Do you do corporate parties and Christmas parties?
We do a ton of corporate parties. We have one coming up this Friday night for the UMMC. The whole hospital does it. It's like 350 people.
Wow.
So they rent out the whole restaurant in the bowling center. And they put out food here in the lanes and in the restaurant, 2 different feeding sessions. And it's a good time. So from 4 o'clock till 10 o'clock, they got the whole building reserved. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Do you suspend your leagues then?
Yeah, so on Fridays it works out because we don't have leagues on Friday evenings. So we'll run our morning leagues and our afternoon, and then they'll be out of here in time to clean up and get ready for the party.
Well, that's nice because it's not nice you don't have leagues, but you also have that opportunity to have parties there because that's a nice night for people to do things.
It sure is.
Companies, and I bet Christmas is amazing.
Yeah, everybody's always looking for a Friday or Saturday evening to try to do stuff, and we're booked up on Saturdays with our league, so we try to force everybody into Fridays, which does help because we do have the open availability.
Sure, that's great. And having the restaurant TF Brown's here is a nice, be able to provide that kind of part to the, addition to the party as well too.
Yes, they do a good catering business too, and so it all helps out. So being able to tie it with the bowling.
All right, so back to our match here as it remains tight, and you get a look at the Castellone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard. Don't forget, the conclusion of this match, and at the end of this episode of Beat the Champ, we'll have the Ortner Overhead Door Word of the Week. Tick that word, and you can enter to win an Ortner Garage Door Opener. Details available at WBBZ.TV. What a way to get the new year 2018 started with win a little prize, a little garage door, get your bowling game going, right? Hopefully everybody got all the nice bowling supplies they needed under the Christmas tree, and they are ready to roll here for 2018. Sounds funny to even say that. Good spare pickup by Emma Miller.
The action will continue on Beat the Champ in just a minute. Welcome back to Beat the Champ.
How long have you been working here now?
I was hired in 2002, so it's been a few years.
You're a veteran of this place then, huh?
Yeah, a couple of years.
That's great.
So you've seen kids evolve out of the junior leagues and into
into the adult leagues.
And then they're going to have kids of their own, and then you're really going to freak out.
Yeah, no, when I started,
You'll be signing them up for the senior leagues, and you go, what has gone on here?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about it, but from the time you start to see them, you lose them for a few years, and you're like, oh, I see that name again, and then I'm like, oh, that's the face I remember.
Yeah.
Heck of a strike there by Sam Miller before. Let's see if Sister Emma can match it.
She's got some nice rotation on her ball.
Whatever Sam can do, she can do better.
That's great. Heading down the stretch here of our Mancuso's Bowling Center Youth League Challenge. Mike's got a nice big trophy to dish out to the winners of this match coming up in a few minutes. Well, Sue, give me a little overview here as this is our last show of the year, and we've seen a lot of good stuff on Beat the Champ, not only on our special exhibition shows like this, but through our regular competition. What jumps out at you about the year in bowling in Western New York?
Well, I think in terms of, the show and how it's evolved and, where we started out 2 years ago and where we are and how we want to go into next season. And, I think that trying to get people interested in coming and trying out, I think it's a nice mix. It's a nice mix of new faces, a nice mix of old faces. Yeah. I think so, but the bowling centers still need to get what they need to get from it. And, I hope that there's more of awareness of bowling. I know that we have wonderful viewer support. I feel that in the community. I feel that when I'm out, I know that people are watching. And that has to put bowling back in the forefront of people's minds. When it comes to a party, when it comes to graduation parties, when it comes to, birthdays and events. the whole idea is not to just showcase the great bowlers of Western New York, but to bring an awareness to people of bowling.
Yes,
and I think we've
that's
done a
great.
job in that, judging from the
Yeah.
response in the community.
We do. We get a great turnout, as you saw all dates here today. From just people coming out to support it, and it's got every little bit's going to help bowling in the long run. I mean,
But what I would like to see is a few more women bowling. I think that the show is missing a little bit of the showcasing the women.
Sure.
And I don't mean me, but I know that Western New York has really great women
Phenomenal
bowlers, and for some reason it hasn't made its way to the show. So we need to see some of that.
Right, and remember, there is always a spot reserved in the top 24 for a female, the highest scoring female bowler. So you're right, you and I have talked an awful lot about it. I think that's the next thing we want to see happen in season 3 of this show, is to get a few more female bowlers on the show, because we know how good they are.
Oh, they're very good. It's just they got to try to come out, and they can compete with these guys.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
I think when people see, and that's some of the response that I've gotten from the public as well, but I think when they say they see the same faces all the time, I think you see the same faces all the time, but what you're not seeing is like something that gets your attention, like a woman, or maybe a senior or something like that.
Right.
You're just kind of seeing, the great bowling, but you're seeing, men and the way they bowl, and I think that it's always been easier to relate to a woman's game because it's so fundamentally correct, So, if anything, I think it's been a great thing for bowling, and if anything, let's see a few more women, in maybe even a 4th show of women going forward.
Sure, it's a great idea. Well, you got a quick look at the Castellone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram scoreboard as we come down to the stretch, heading towards the 10th frame here of this Youth League Bowling Challenge. And we're going to let James Townsend and Sam Miller finish it out here, and we will crown a champion. So there you go. That's a good resolution for 2018. Is we need to get a few more of the females to showcase how good those bowlers are in Western Europe. We need to get them on the show.
We've had a 300, but only one.
Only one.
Right. That's surprising. Yeah.
We've had a 14 win streak, but only one. There's only 2 people in double digits.
A 14 and a 10.
Right. So overall, it's been, a nice variety of people. I would just like to see people a little bit more confident about coming out and bowling and believing that they can make the show.
Right.
And a few more women, but overall, it's been great.
Do you think there's a lot of bowlers who feel like, oh, I'm not that good. I'm not good enough to make the show?
I do. And yet we see new faces all the time, so that can't possibly be true.
That's it. Good point.
If they're bowling, they got a shot. I mean, that's.
And James can't finish off the spare there. It was going to be a tricky one. He cannot finish it off, so we get a 138 final score on the board for James and Emma.
So they can strike out and win.
Sam has a chance to strike out and win and come up with a victory over his sister. And there's strike number one. Oh, we'll see how this goes over in the Miller household. There's the scoreboard.
There's a turn of events.
Sure, at 147 is the final score with the handicap thrown in, so.
Yeah, that closes them out.
Forgot about that tricky
that's
hand.
right.
Yeah. Oh.
And now Sam's going to battle his way down here. But what good bowling, and the future of bowling in the Batavia area and here at Mancuso's Bowling Center is certainly in good hands by all the outstanding young bowlers we have seen here in this match today. And we'll watch Sam finish things out here, and then we'll come back and dish out some hardware. And a good spare to finish things out for Sam. Shaking the hands to his competitor, James and Corinne and his sister. It's a 138 to 130 victory for Emma and James. We'll talk to all of them about a great afternoon of bowling here when we return to Mancuso's Bowling Center in Batavia. More to come on Beat the Champ. Well, Emma and James are holding the hardware because they're the winners of our Batavia Youth League Bowling Championship. But Corinne and Sam, you guys put up a pretty good fight. Sam, tell me how much fun was that?
It was pretty fun, you know. Just had a good time, bowl well.
And you got a chance to watch your sister bowl pretty well as well, too. I think she's going to let you hear about that, too, isn't she?
Maybe.
You ready for that?
Probably not.
Hey, Corinne, you got off to the great hot start here. How much fun was this for you?
It was so much fun, especially bowling with Sam. It was a lot of fun.
All right, well, great. You guys did an outstanding job, but Sue, you get to talk to the winners down there.
Well, this might be one of your last trophies as junior bowler. Are you ready to get into the big leagues after this?
Well, I'm a little nervous, but hopefully I will be able to be ready for it.
So we'll see you again, but we're going to see you on one of the main shows, right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, and how are you going to get your brother for this?
I don't know.
Put that in his room so he can look at it for a little bit?
Yeah, just put it on the dinner table.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, I love it.
You did very, very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, and Mike, thanks for hosting this and being a part of this. It's great to see the next generation of bowlers here.
Yes, it is. You know, like I said, they all bowled great. I'm just glad we got to do it for the junior program and show off some of the talent that we have.
All right, well,
but that second match was better than that final one, though, Sam, huh?
Yeah, that's all right. Sam will battle his way back. Hey, thanks to all of you guys for putting on a great show. We got a great 1 month stay here in Batavia. Sue and I will come back and wrap it up when Beat the Champ returns right after this. Well, what a great way to wrap up a terrific month stay here in Batavia. The youth bowlers were outstanding, Sue, and then we get back to the start of 2018 with another outstanding bowler as Dana Vojtovic to try to keep that winning streak alive.
Yeah, well, was that fun? I mean, it was a really great month here. We've got another news story to take us into 2018. And I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. Rapids Bowling Center in Niagara Falls, where that winning streak goes on the line for Dana Vojtovic. You know what? It was a lot of fun with both of you guys. I love hanging out in bowling centers with both of you guys. It has been a lot of fun. I know you guys have fun too.
Oh, of course, Paul. It's always a great time.
All right, well, there you go. It's a wrap on 2017's Beat the Champ, but 2018 is just 1 week away. We will see you in a new year from Niagara Falls. Thanks for watching Beat the Champ.